I want to thank you for coming to our school play today. If you could give yourselves a big hand for supporting your relatives and your friends, that would be awesome. So, I just want to say one thing before I get started. Ross has a strict no refund policy, so you'll just have to deal with whatever happens next. Okay? So, I am American, it's true, and I am overweight. It's true. I've recently lost about 40, 50 kilograms. Yay. Thank you. The only problem is I keep finding them again. I don't know. My sister-in-law lives with us. Her name's Vanessa, and she's this little skinny Asian thing. And she drives me crazy. She can eat whatever she wants, when she wants. She never gains weight. That's not me. Last night I watched the McDonald's commercial. And this morning, I had special pants for this show, and I couldn't get into them. And I tell you, actually, I just realized it might not be the pants. It might not be the commercial. It might be my pants, because my wife hasn't wanted to get into them for years either. So I'm not sure. I tell you, when I knew I was in trouble. My wife kept nagging me. Go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor. The doctor told me, he did my physical, and he sat me down, he said, Matt, you're in excellent physical condition. And I said, who? He goes, for an 83-year-old. So I didn't think I was very good. And then he said, but don't worry. I've diagnosed you as only half bulimic. I said, half bulimic? He goes, well, yeah, you binge, but you don't purge. So, anyway, I tell you, when I knew I was in real trouble. I woke up one morning, I was all blurry-eyed, and I got up, and I got on the scale, and I looked down, and it said, error. 1 at a time, please. That's when I knew I had to lose weight, so I just stopped eating for a while. But it is tough being American, we're used to being number one, and we've been losing all these number ones lately. We were the world's fattest country, and we've lost that recently. Do you know who won that? Who's got that now? Sorry? Australia! Congratulations! Yay! Give yourselves a hand. But don't feel too bad. That happened right after I moved here. So, I don't have to tell you about that. Anyway, my mom was a Southern Baptist, so she wasn't intimidated by anybody. She was tough as nails. Not even my dad. She wasn't intimidated by him because he was a Chicago cop. And he used to come home wearing all his whole black uniform. He was all in black. He had his big black boots that he used to use to stomp on people's rights all day. And he had this big bat belt on where he'd have his .357 over here and his handcuffs back here and his baton over here. And my mom wouldn't even let him get in the door. He'd be coming home from work, and she'd be screaming at. She was 5 foot. He was 6 foot 2, 110 kilograms. She'd be pointing up, screaming at him, yelling at him for something, like leaving a coffee cup out before he went to work at 6 a.m. And I remember watching my mom and going, because my dad scared the hell out of me. I remember thinking, Mom, wait till he takes off his gun. But, he never had. It worked out. Wasn't so patient with us, though. Even when I was an adult, I went home. I remember I was 38, and I went home to visit my parents, and I'm sitting in the living room, and I'm going through a midlife crisis, and I'm all depressed, and I'm like, my mom's in the kitchen, my dad's in the living room with me, and I'm just going, oh, Dad, how did I get so old? And I was like 38. I'm like, how did I get so old and I'm not married? And my dad did one of these. Checking around for my mom. And he goes, because you've been lucky. Anyway, not all the time was it great. There are some benefits to having a dad that was a cop. Now that he's retired, my brother has a 16-year-old daughter, and he watches her after school. And she just started dating. The other day, this kid came to pick her up and take her on a date. my dad's sitting in the living room and he's got a shotgun shell in his hand. So Ashley, my niece, opens up the door for this boy, and my dad whips it at him, hits him right in the chest. He's like, my dad says, hurts a lot more when it comes out of my gun, boy. Anyway, he wasn't so patient with us, though. I remember one time, I was like 10, 12, something like that, and my dad parked wherever the hell he wanted because he was a cop. He parked in a handicap spot. And this was the most egregious thing I'd seen in my young life up to this point. I was shocked. I was just full of righteous anger. I said, Dad, you can't park there. That's a handicap spot. He said, shut up, boy. I'm handicapped. I got you for a son, don't I? That's the kind of stuff we got. I remember another time we were roughhousing because we're all boys, and I banged my head on the coffee table, and my dad went, and jumped up. And I looked up at my father, and I had blood pouring down the side of my head and tears rolling down my eyes, but I remember thinking, he does care. He does love me. And then my father said, is the coffee table okay? That was expensive. You'll heal. If not, your mother and I can make another one that looks just like you for free. It's kind of hard on her, but it's only a minute out of my day. Thanks, you've been great.